Viewers, listen carefully. What you're about to hear is something that's been buried deep beneath layers of fear, silence, and mystery. In this video, we're diving into Yu Menglong's final hours, the shocking truth behind the secret tunnel, his desperate escape attempt, and what authorities discovered beneath the ground days after his disappearance. Stay with us until the end, because what happened underground will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about this case. Let's begin. The night was damp, the air thick with the kind of tension that seemed to crawl up your spine and whisper danger in your ear. A flickering street lamp outside Building 49 in the Suhui district of Shanghai lit up the narrow alleyway just enough to reveal faint footprints, one leading toward an abandoned courtyard, and another vanishing into darkness. That darkness would later become the center of China's most haunting mystery of 2025, the secret tunnel beneath the old residence Yu Menglong once called his safe place. Yu Menglong had been under constant pressure in the days leading up to his death, his social circle tightening, his calls monitored, and his movements restricted. According to people close to him, he had been planning something. Something that, if it had worked, might have changed everything. At 11:43 p.m. on a cold Tuesday night, a security camera caught Menglong entering the courtyard with a backpack slung over his shoulder. He looked calm, too calm. But investigators later noticed something unusual. He wasn't walking toward the gate. He was heading toward the ground. The spot he stopped at seemed ordinary, a patch of soil covered by a rusted metal plate. But when he bent down, lifted it, and disappeared below, it became the entrance to one of the most talked-about mysteries in recent Chinese entertainment history, the secret tunnel that no one was supposed to know about. Hours later, when authorities arrived after a neighbor reported hearing strange noises underground, the plate was open, but Yu Menglong was gone. Only his phone, smashed and partially burned, was found beside the entrance. Rumors spread like wildfire. Some claimed it was an old wartime escape route left behind from decades ago. Others believed Menglong had built it himself, a private exit to flee from someone or something he feared. But as investigators soon learned, this tunnel wasn't just old, it was alive with secrets. Inside, the tunnel was narrow, damp, and barely lit. The walls were lined with hand-scratched markings, numbers, dates, and words like wait, not yet, and don't trust. Every symbol looked fresh, desperate, and filled with panic. At about 15 meters deep, police found a small chamber, a space no larger than a single room. There, they uncovered something chilling, an overturned lantern, blood on the floor, and traces of two distinct sets of footprints. 2 people had been there, but only one ever came out. Witnesses later recalled hearing muffled voices that night arguing, shouting, then silence. The old caretaker who lived nearby said he heard what sounded like metal scraping against concrete and a man's voice yelling for help. But by the time he came out, the tunnel entrance was sealed again. When forensic experts reopened the tunnel 3 days later, they found Yu Menglong's personal notebook, soaked in mud but still readable. Inside were cryptic messages. "They know where I am. If I don't make it out, tell them the truth lies beneath. Trust only the blue mark." No one knew what the blue mark meant. That single phrase sparked an online frenzy. Fans began analyzing his last social media photos, his interviews, even behind-the-scenes footage, looking for a sign, a mark, a symbol. Some found what they believed was the clue. In a promotional photo weeks before his death, Menglong wore a blue bracelet with a small engraved X. Could that X have been his signal? His cry for help hidden in plain sight? As the story deepened, one shocking discovery turned the entire case upside down. Authorities found a second exit, one that led to an abandoned tea house a few blocks away. And that tea house, according to property records, was owned by a shell company linked to one of Menglong's former associates, a name he had recently cut off from his inner circle. Inside the tea house, investigators uncovered something that sent chills across the nation: surveillance monitors, multiple radio devices, and a wall covered with photos of Menglong from red carpet events, private parties, and even shots from his apartment balcony taken from a distance. He was being watched. But here's the twist. The last photo taken of him, time-stamped just 1 hour before he entered the tunnel, showed him meeting someone in the courtyard. The person's face was hidden under a black hood. That image remains unreleased to the public, but insiders say it matches the silhouette of someone Yu Menglong had trusted deeply. So what really happened underground? One theory suggests Menglong had discovered that someone close to him was involved in leaking his personal data and private life. In fear of being silenced, he used the tunnel as an escape route to retrieve evidence stored in a hidden compartment within the chamber. But the plan failed when the person he trusted found out and followed him down there. The confrontation turned violent. The blood traces matched Menglong's DNA, but the second set of footprints didn't belong to anyone officially known to be with him that night. Even more hauntingly, the tunnel's walls recorded faint, distorted sounds, voices echoing from a recording device later retrieved from Menglong's bag. Forensic analysts managed to enhance one segment of the recording. And the last words they could make out were, "Don't close it, please. I can still." Then static. The rest was silence. When the recording was released to the investigative team, one officer reportedly broke down, saying, it wasn't just fear in his voice, it was betrayal. In the days that followed, a new wave of information emerged. A retired construction worker from the same district came forward, claiming he helped dig that tunnel over a decade ago not for war, but for private protection. According to him, a wealthy sponsor had paid him to design an underground route connected to multiple exits. He said the man who commissioned the job told him, "It's not for hiding things. It's for hiding people." And when he saw Yu Menglong's name in the news, he realized that one of those tunnels matched the one he had built. By this point, public pressure was mounting. Fans, media outlets, and online detectives demanded answers. Who was the second person in the tunnel? Who owned the tea house? And what did Yu Menglong mean by the blue mark? Then came a revelation no one expected. A blue paint stain was discovered near the second exit, smeared on the handle of an old door. Investigators traced the same pigment to a small confound in Menglong's apartment. It seemed he had been marking his way out, leaving a trail for someone who never came. Even more mysterious was a small metallic object found near that blue mark, a locket containing a microchip. When decoded, it revealed a hidden audio clip, Menglong's voice, calm yet tense. "If you hear this, it means I didn't make it. I tried. I really did. They were already here before I went down. Don't let them erase me." Those final words turned the case from tragedy to legend. Theories exploded online. Some said the microchip contained evidence of high-level manipulation in the industry. Others believed Menglong had uncovered something darker, something that endangered his life. Weeks later, authorities sealed the entire area. The courtyard was fenced off, the tea house demolished, and all public access banned for safety reasons. But locals swear that at night, you can still hear faint echoes from below, the sound of footsteps pacing through the tunnel, as if someone's still trying to find the way out. Those who visited the area before it was sealed described an eerie energy, cold drafts that seemed to move against the wind, whispers that came from nowhere, and the faint scent of metal and earth. Some even claimed they saw a faint blue light flickering beneath the soil when it rained. Could it be the reflection of the lantern? Or something Yu Menglong left behind, a signal, still waiting to be found? The mystery continues to deepen. New files leaked online suggest that days before his death, Menglong sent an encrypted message to an unnamed friend. "If I vanish, look underground. You'll find more than just me." Those chilling words remain unsolved. Who was that message meant for? Was it someone from his circle, or a journalist he trusted? Nobody knows for sure. But one thing is certain, Yu Menglong's story didn't end that night. It simply went underground. His fans still gather near the site every year, leaving blue flowers symbolizing truth and loyalty at the locked gate of the courtyard. They call it the place of the blue mark. Some believe he succeeded in escaping that night and is still out there, hidden by those who knew the real danger he was running from. Others think his spirit remains trapped within the tunnel, forever reliving those final, desperate moments. But whether alive, gone, or hidden, one undeniable fact remains: Yu Menglong was fighting something far larger than himself. His last escape wasn't just about survival. It was about exposing a truth buried beneath power, fame, and fear. And until that truth surfaces, the mystery of the secret tunnel and Yu Menglong's last escape attempt will haunt the minds of everyone who dares to look too closely. So, what do you think really happened underground that night? Was Yu Menglong silenced, or did he vanish to protect something or someone we're not yet ready to know about? If you thought the first part of this story was intense, you haven't seen anything yet. In this continuation, we dive deeper into what really happened after Yu Menglong disappeared underground. New eyewitness reports, leaked police notes, and secret footage reveal that the tunnel may not have been what everyone thought. And what they found inside after the collapse will leave you absolutely stunned. Stay locked in, because every second of this story counts. The search team returned to the site 2 days after the mysterious vanishing. By that time, the tunnel had partially caved in. The soil had shifted overnight, almost as if someone had deliberately triggered the collapse from inside. Workers said the ground felt hollow, breathing as though the earth itself was hiding something it didn't want anyone to see. When officers tried to dig through, their shovels hit something metallic. It wasn't a pipe. It was a reinforced steel hatch buried beneath the layer of mud, a door that hadn't been there during the first search. Who placed it there? And how did it appear so quickly after the initial investigation? As the excavation continued, investigators found a pair of black gloves pressed into the soil, gloves that forensic teams later confirmed did not belong to Yu Menglong. That discovery immediately shifted the focus. It wasn't just an escape attempt anymore, it was a chase. Someone had gone down there with him. The most chilling part came when they finally broke through the sealed hatch. What lay beneath wasn't a simple passageway, it was a fully structured chamber, roughly the size of a small apartment, complete with a metal desk, old equipment, and wires running into the walls. A faded map hung beside the desk, marked with several dots and notes written in a trembling hand. One of them read, "Keep this between the ground and the truth." At the center of the chamber stood something that sent shockwaves through everyone present, a half-burned chair, metal restraints attached to its arms, and a small projector flickering light across the wall. When powered up, the projector revealed blurred frames of someone's shadow pacing, gesturing, and then abruptly stopping, followed by static. Forensic analysts enhanced the footage, and to everyone's horror, the last visible frame showed Yu Menglong's reflection in the corner, terrified, looking directly into the lens, whispering something the camera barely caught. "They're not who they say they are." That single line changed everything. When the image leaked online days later, fans were in disbelief. People began re-watching his old interviews, dissecting every smile, every pause, every moment where his expression seemed off. They noticed something chilling. In his last public appearance before his disappearance, Menglong had rubbed his wrist several times, as if checking for something that wasn't there. Could that have been the same spot where he once wore the blue bracelet? Police logs later revealed another bombshell. A hidden camera was discovered at the tunnel entrance, buried in a broken pipe. It had been recording for hours before being manually shut off. The footage recovered from it was grainy, but one frame stood out, a figure in a long dark coat standing above the entrance after Menglong had gone down. That person bent down, touched the metal plate, and whispered something before sealing it shut. Whoever that person was, they never showed up on any other camera in the area. Even stranger, right before the feed cut out, a faint light appeared behind the figure, blue, faintly pulsing, like a signal. Could it have been the same blue mark Menglong mentioned in his notes? Or was it something else, perhaps the code between him and someone trying to help him escape? Investigators couldn't agree. Some believed Menglong had staged his own disappearance, that he knew about the tunnel's alternate routes and planned to vanish through them. Others thought he was trapped by someone who knew the network of underground chambers better than he did. Then came the most terrifying clue of all. During a deeper dig, forensic teams found a small, rusted tin box wedged into the wall of the tunnel. Inside was a note wrapped in plastic and a thin memory card. The note had a single line written in hurried strokes. "If you're reading this, they found me first." The handwriting matched Yu Menglong's. When experts decrypted the memory card, they discovered fragments of video recordings, logs of him speaking into a small handheld camera. In one of the clips, his voice trembled as he said, "I thought the tunnel was mine. I thought it was my escape. But they built it long before me." That line suggested something dark, that the tunnel wasn't just an escape route. It was a trap designed long before he ever stepped foot there. Several engineers who examined the structure confirmed that it was too advanced for a single person to build secretly. The air vents, steel linings, and complex support systems hinted at an organization behind it, possibly one that had used it before for undisclosed purposes. One former official who spoke anonymously claimed that the tunnels were part of an old confidential network created decades ago to transport sensitive assets. If that's true, then Menglong might have accidentally stumbled upon something that was never meant to be discovered. And if he tried to expose it, that could explain why he was being followed, why his communications were tapped, and why he was desperate enough to flee underground. By the time search teams reached the far end of the chamber, they found another tunnel leading further east, this one narrower, colder, and filled with a strange hum that made radios malfunction. The air grew heavier with every meter. At the end, they found a second exit, but it was sealed shut from the outside. Someone had closed it, locking whatever was inside, in forever. One of the rescue workers later said that while digging, he heard faint tapping from within the walls, like knuckles knocking metal. At first, they thought it was loose debris until the knocks formed a rhythm. 3 short taps, a pause, then 2 more. When translated through Morse code, it meant help. To this day, no one knows who or what made those sounds. The government later released a short statement calling the tunnel unsafe and structurally compromised. They insisted no human remains were found, but many doubted that claim. Photos leaked from inside the chamber showed a set of shoes identical to the pair Yu Menglong was last seen wearing. What happened next only deepened the mystery. Within a week, every piece of evidence, the gloves, the projector, the notebook, was confiscated and marked classified. The site was filled in with concrete. Even the tea house exit was demolished under urban renovation. But locals still talk. They say sometimes, late at night, if you stand near the old courtyard and listen closely, you can hear faint echoing, not screams, but the sound of someone whispering just below the ground. Some say it's just the wind. Others believe Yu Menglong never made it out, that his voice lingers, still trying to tell the truth. And the biggest question remains, who was waiting for him at the other end of that tunnel? And why did they make sure no one would ever reach it again? The truth, for now, remains buried. But one thing's for sure, the more we uncover, the darker this mystery gets. Viewers, what do you think happened that night? Was Yu Menglong really trying to escape something, or someone? Do you believe he might have discovered an underground operation that cost him his life? Let me know what you think in the comments. Your theory might reveal what investigators couldn't. If you found this story gripping, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel for more mind-blowing stories like this one. And tell me, if you found a tunnel like this beneath your house, would you go inside, or seal it forever? Your thoughts could help uncover the truth that's still hidden deep underground.